Let's delve into the integration of artificial intelligence into operating systems and discuss how it's shaping the way we interact with our devices. To begin, could you explain how AI, as seen in Microsoft's new tools like Copilot, is starting to enhance productivity software, and what this signals for the future of operating systems like Windows?
So I had an experience today where I needed to unlock a lot of files. I use Mac, and for some reason, moving files from my home server onto my Mac, they were all locked. And there were files, subfiles, and then they locked files, which means I couldn't do anything with them. So I started manually trying to click in, edit, go back, and hundreds of them. Why the hell am I doing that? I remembered that there was an AI that I installed on my device called Open Interpreter. Essentially, it just uses the Open AI API to do stuff, but it can interact with the operating system. And through that, I said, go into this folder, go into every single folder, subfolder, and unlock every single file in there. And 10 minutes later, it was done. And that experience really hammers home where AI in an operating system can start to show real ease of use. Integrating this sort of ability to create files, folders, move stuff, find stuff, and bringing that to a service where you can just chat and tell it to do something is starting to show, and on a fundamental operating system level, is where every OS is going to go. And you look at Microsoft with their Copilot. So currently the Copilot is a service within the Office ecosystem. However, that is already being built into the operating systems as well. You may have seen there are laptops with an AI button on them now. That's going to be commonplace. It's going to be in everything. That's, of course, one step closer to Windows being a subscription operating system. I bet it's going to happen. But this integration really changes the way that we're going to be interacting with our computers.
Your anecdote vividly illustrates the practical advantages of AI as an assistant in managing file permissions, a task that would be quite tedious if done manually. By offloading this to an AI like the Open Interpreter you mentioned, the functionality of an operating system is expanded to include intelligent automation. You've also pointed out that similar capabilities are appearing in the Microsoft ecosystem, suggesting a broader trend in AI integration. As you touched on the change in interactivity with our computers, can you elaborate on how AI might transform the user experience in terms of intuitiveness and efficiency?
It's actually funny. Someone mentioned not that long ago that the UI has come very full circle from it used to be a terminal where you input commands, and it's coming full circle to be chat where you input direct commands. And I think that is really what's happening. Not having to manage files, folders, storage, not having to manage installation of software, updates, security settings, turning Wi-Fi on, all of the clicking a button in menu, submenu, all of that in a short amount of time is going to move to just tell it what to do. For a vast amount of the functions that we sort of do on a daily basis with the computers, it's all going to be just chat. And I think it won't be very long before it'll just be a voice chat. Maybe it's coming back to the idea of that perfect Star Trek where you have a tablet where you can look, where they looked at the data, but most of the interaction they had with their computers was through voice. I think we're headed towards that world.
You're painting a picture of a future where our interactions with our devices become more conversational, reflecting a shift back to command line-like simplicity, but with the natural language understanding of modern AI. This is a compelling example of technology's cyclical nature, evolving yet revisiting past interfaces in a more sophisticated form. With this vision of simplified, voice-driven commands and AI's role in everyday computing tasks, what might be some implications for user accessibility and digital literacy?
I hadn't considered that, but it makes the most obvious sense. For the vast amount of people who have accessibility issues, they suddenly get access to everything. Because imagine you just tell it what you do. You just tell it where to go. Open a browser, go here, do that. Now, I know that these systems sort of are rudimentary existing at the moment, but with the natural language, with its ability to understand people with potentially slurred speech or impediments or language issues. It can understand intent, desire, outcome, and then take those steps. So accessibility is going to take a massive leap forward. And as for computer literacy, we've been moving away from non-tech people understanding how technology works for quite a while. Most people now very SaaS bound. If you need a tool or you need to do something, you go and find a thing and it's a subscription and you pay for it and then it's done. You don't have to nut out how to make it work or hack stuff together. And as a population, we've been going down that road real quick for a long time. So I think the literacy of the actual technology will probably get even less as far as how it works. That said, with the capabilities of AI to understand multitudes of different languages in voice, in text, as well as translate and interpret, voice to text, text to voice to voice, all of these types of interaction that we have, it's going to open up people's ability to actually use the technology. And then hopefully as these devices get smaller, more complex language models can fit on a smaller device, it's going to open it up more and more.